goodness.
Welcome,
Boo!
everybody,
Boo!
to an spooky edition
Boo!
of Tuesday Night Modern.
I'll tell you what, there's something spooky going on back here.
There's lots of spooky things going on back here in the booth. I am your host, the handsome John Douglas, joined as always by...
My name's Taylor Gunn.
His name is Taylor Gunn. You knew that.
Handsome's not the right adjective for you tonight.
Handsome is indeed the right adjective for me tonight. We've got a nice one for you.
This is a real treat. We actually randomed this.
Yeah.
First round.
So it's we're gonna do a special trick or treat version of the stream tonight, where we trick you into watching terrible matchups and treat you with some good ones. Hopefully.
Oh God. Okay. That was really a stretch.
Hey, listen, man. We're stretching this. It's Halloween night. The ghosts and goblins are out trolling for candy, so if they come, feel free to walk away from the stream for a little bit. You don't want to get egged. You don't want to get your house TP'd.
Here's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to, like, open the door and just start throwing candy at them and just, like, increase the velocity.
Until they run away?
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you're throwing good enough candy, those kids are going to stand there for a while and, like, play the game with you.
I don't think so.
You don't think?
No, I think they're going to run away and their parents are going to report you.
No, but, like, you toss it the first time, and then you throw it a little bit harder, and then you throw it a little bit harder.
So the longer you're there playing this mental mind game with their children, the parents are going to get increasingly wary.
Until eventually you're full-blown overhand.
Are you no-tooth smiling during this? Because that changes how long they stay for sure. Patrick starts off with a top.
Ooh, look at these brand new glacial fortresses. Do you like that one, or do you want to play like the oldest one possible?
That would be a temple. That's
no, in his hand he has a glacial fortress.
Oh, in his hand he's got a glacial fortress? That's a flooded strand right there.
I've never been more sure of anything in my life that he has a glacial fortress.
Okay, I mean, I'll believe you. I don't see it, but I'll believe you. With regards to your question, it depends on the land itself.
Okay.
So glacial fortress.
It's 100% art dependent, right?
Yeah, for me. I kind of like the new ones. So the new Rootbound Crag is insane. The old Dragon Skull Summit's probably better.
Yeah, with the dragon like coming up it's like a volcano head.
Yeah. The new I like the new Drown Catacombs.
Yep. Well, all right, there's that. Fantastic. I don't know what's going on right now.
All kinds of things are going on right now.
So,
well, Zach no longer has a mountain, but he does have this Goblin Guide, which is hemorrhaging value every turn. Logic's on, who cares? At some point, Patrick's going to have to deal with this Goblin Guide, and when he does, whoo boy.
I just don't think... Here's the thing. If you let Zach sit around and just build up a hand...
Oh yeah, he's just gonna, like, drop a bunch of burn on you. You can't race him.
Right. Alright.
It looks like we're gonna deal with this now with the Gideon. Pretty good answer. Zach drawing dead cards instead of mountains.
He's going to have to discard these lightning helixes.
Gideon of the Trials the play for Patrick. Now, a lot of people were planning on playing these Gideon tribal decks to include Gideon of the Tribal, or Gideon of the Trials.
Tribals?
Yeah, basically Gideon of the Tribal. However, he's seeing play here outside of Gideon Tribal, just as a way to prevent some damage and provide a win condition on 3. It's much easier to hold up a logic knot when you're only paying 3 for your win condition.
Oh, so Patrick's going to give Zach an out here and have to exile the Goblin Guide that he just didn't have to do that at all.
He's going to immediately Spreading Seize it. I don't see...
So, like, yeah, he casts Spreading Seize. Zach gets the fire off a lightning bolt at it.
Well, it comes into play tapped. So Zach fails to find. He realizes that his burn deck has no
He has no mountains. Do we not have 60 cards?
Yeah, he likely doesn't have 60 cards. That deck looks very thin. Okay, so a little bit of a treat for Zach and or a little bit of a treat for Patrick rather, and a little bit of a trick for Zach. The old No Mountain Burn deck. How do you feel about that one?
It's interesting. So he just presented less than 60, conceded the game because of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that is disgusting Path to Exile artwork. Nobody should be subjected to that.
No, that's the best Path to Exile artwork. No, that's the
You're still
okay.
wrong.
There's like Rebecca Gwypath, that one, regular one, and then the one going through the door.
You're completely wrong.
That's my Path to Exile artwork power rankings.
So,
what's your power ranking? Do it right now. Snap it off.
Art is subjective.
Snap it off. What's your power ranking?
But you are objectively wrong about that.
What's your power ranking?
So the original.
Okay.
And then all the rest of them are garbage and aren't worth talking about.
Oh, even the Rebecca Gwy one's garbage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that
Rebecca
card
Gwy
is
ones can,
beautiful.
They can die in a fire.
Somebody else that we hope dies in a fire, Patrick Narsavage, is going to be on the draw here in this Game 2.
I wish nothing but the best for Patrick Narsavage. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's a burn deck, and I was segueing away from...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's very clever.
Do you get it? You understand it?
Very clever. So now, Zach, presumably about to present 60 cards. He's going to pile shuffle just to make sure. Patrick going through his deck to make sure Zach didn't accidentally slip any mountains into Patrick's deck.
Sure.
Although it would be quite the prestidigitation.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
I have to go deep thinking about it.
Yeah, you're going to have to learn it yourself some. I got to... So, you know JR.
Oh, yeah.
JR and I were not very close. Like, we're not, like, buddies or anything.
Right.
There's no, like, bad blood or anything. We just never, like...
Hit it off.
Yeah, we never, like, interacted. When he applied for a job at Wizards...
Yeah?
He sent me a message on Facebook to ask about prestidigitation.
What?
Just saying. Look it up.
Can you use the word in a sentence?
I just did. Twice.
We're going to the Google machine. I probably won't even spell it right because my skills at spelling are horrible. But we're just going to do it phonetically. P-R-E-S-T-I... Oh, there it is. It got recommended.
Always recommended.
Magic tricks performed as entertainment?
Yeah.
Why did he need to know about that while he was applying to Wizards?
So it's also, depending on the edition, a level 0 or level 1 magic spell in D&D.
Oh, sure.
And
he didn't know anything about D&D.
Well, no, he understood some of it.
Right.
But the question was like some number of uses for this spell, just like off the wall uses, just to kind of like get a sense of your creativity.
Oh, okay.
This spell in D&D can do a lot of like very, very minor things.
Okay.
But historically, it's like not a powerful spell, but a very useful spell because you can do so many different things with it.
Oh, okay. What is the effect of the spell?
Look it up. I'm not reciting this for you. It's very long.
Space. 5E. I'm gonna guess this is the Dungeons and Dragons entry. Here's the.
Not a card name, Jake. Not talking about Magic. Who would do that on a Magic stream?
No, we're talking about a completely different game. I'm sorry, you guys got me. It's a minor magical trick that novice spellcasters use for practice. You create one of the following magic effects within range. Create instantaneous, harmless sensory effects, shower of sparks, a puff of wind, musical notes, or an odd odor. You instantly light or snuff out a torch, candle, something like that. Instantly clean or soil an object. Chill, warm, or flavor 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. That's interesting.
Zach with a nice start here on the Monetary Swift Spear. But go on. There's more.
You make a color, small mark, or symbol appear on an object for 1 hour. Create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand that lasts until the end of your next turn. If you cast a spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous effects active at one time. And you could dismiss the effect as an action. So you just create like a little, you know...
Yeah.
It's like it's almost as if...
Another Spreading Seas for Patrick. So
it's almost
his Spreading Seas paid off. Sorry. His Spreading Seas paid off big time in the first game because Zach didn't have any mountains. It is not a good card in this matchup. Am I wrong?
No, it's not where you want to be.
It's just way bad. You definitely want to side.
He could theoretically use it to keep Zach off of white because his most efficient burn spells are white.
Sure.
But I don't think that it's the best choice.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I would much rather just have like spell snares, remands, just this low to the ground. You know, keep him gummed up. And I would be using Gideon aggressively to attack Zach. You want to end this game.
Oh, absolutely. Any Grixis Delver today? Let's take a look. Our spotter, who, by the way, you'll have to bear with us. We don't have our normal excellent spotter monkey. We have someone who's not too familiar with Magic out there today. But our spotter brought back a list of what people are playing. I don't see any Grixis Delver.
He wanted us to go way off the reservation and talk about the WWE.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
That's on every Monday night at our household. So
it is on most
Monday nights. Yeah.
Sometimes there's a good football game on worth watching.
Right.
Sometimes there's not. Often
no.
There's
sometimes
not.
You just have to watch Alexa Bliss defend her title again.
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
Uncalled for. I mean, listen. He's under a lot of pressure right now. The GM is.
Oh, the GM is. I see.
All right. So this is 4 mana. Normally, this is like the break point for these control decks. 4 mana has classically been where these decks either quote unquote have it and get to take over the game, or they miss and get to the point where they're like, okay, I can't win the game.
And also, 4 mana for the burn deck is also a break point where you get to that point and you realize, well, not winning this one.
I've drawn way too many lands.
But in this case,
he's at 5.
Yeah, he's at 5 lands. But Patrick's only at 6, and we do have a burn spell in hand. I don't know why we kept the Searing Blaze in.
All right.
Oh, and Eidolon's going to be very good here.
All right, so what he needs to do here is he needs to Snapcaster Mage, target the... I would have targeted the Celestial Purge, and then if like something goes awry, you have the Celestial Purge to like back up, but if not, you get to like block and trade with the Swift Spear, which is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here he should Snapcaster before the Eidolon resolves, and then...
At least target the Celestial Purge. But
and then Celestial
really
Purge the Eidolon after the Eidolon resolves.
Then you're just dead to any burn spell. But, I mean, you're already...
I mean, you're just dead to everything here if he does this. Alright. So this Snapcaster Mage is... Alright, so he's gonna put himself...
There it is.
Alright. So there it is. Yeah, so he really needed, instead of Celestial Purge on turn 4, he needed like a Wrath of God.
A Wrath of God. I don't know how a Wrath of God... Well, I guess it would have saved him a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been great.
I don't know, just classically, you think about these matchups, they normally like Wrath on 4, or they hit to like Sphinx's Revelation for 3 would be like very good against the burn deck.
Absolutely, but you need a lot more mana for that.
Well, I mean, 5 mana. To
6.
okay, 6.
If you get to 6 mana, you're in great position.
Right.
You typically...
You just can't go 1-for-1 with them. They'll overwhelm you.
You can't go 1-for-1 with them late. Like, early, you need to go 1-for-1 with them.
Absolutely, but my point being is that, like, you need to gain card advantage somewhere, and it can't be in just drawing cards, because that takes too long.
Oh, absolutely.
And usually you're counterspelling things that cost less than your counterspells.
Right. And that's not good.
Like Celestial Purging Monastery Swiftspear, you're down a mana.
Right. So in these kind of decks, you're just trying to survive until you get to the late game.
Right.
And if you can do that, you can hemorrhage all kinds of value in the first 3 or 4 turns. But then you can start making it up with your Haymakers, your Snapcaster Mages, your Gideons, your Sphinx's Rev, whatever you have.
Right.
Yeah, I think Patrick may have just misboarded here. He's still got these Spreading Seas in, and that's just bad.
Yeah, it's questionable.
You probably don't want the Logic Nods either, or at least not all of them.
It just depends on what he has in his sideboard. Like,
and Zach still has these Searing Blazes in here. I can't think of why that would be a good idea.
I mean, I guess he's banking on Snapcaster Mages.
Sure, and you can bank on Snapcaster Mage coming down, but at the same time, you don't want to be stuck with that in your hand.
Right. Yeah,
especially since like the timing is so important on that card. Like you have to play a land to get full value out of it.
Right. We were talking last week about how like we'll take any card that deals damage, and
right. That one deals damage.
Well, I mean that one deals damage, but we would replace it with any card that deals 3 damage because sometimes it's just going to deal 1 damage.
Right, and I can't imagine a card in your deck that's worse that you would take out for Skullcracks. And I'm sure Skullcracks have made the cut here.
Yeah, maybe it's just on 2 Searing Blaze.
That could be.
It looks like we have a creature on top of the library. We're going to go...
Creature on top, solid. He's also got a Monastery Swiftspear. If he's got a mountain in hand, I'd play that, but it looks like he has 2 fetches. Alright, so Patrick down to 18 in an turn, I'm assuming. Gets a Hollowed Fountain. Oh, he's got mountains now. We put him back in after game 1. He conceded.
Yeah, we corrected. It was a decklist error, and so at casual REL you get to replace. If your deck is short of 60 cards, you get to replace with any number of basics. He's chosen mountain in this case.
And there's the Spreading Seas.
Yep, seas are all spread out. Here's a Searing Blaze in his hand off the top.
Looks like his hand is Fetchland, Sacred Foundry. Let's fire off a Skullcrack, I guess. And there you go.
Alright, so we got 13.
So Patrick's got another turn here. He did draw a Blessed Alliance, which is really good against the burn decks.
Yeah, you want to talk about a card that's going to go long. That card is worth about 2.5 cards.
Oh, yeah.
4 life is a card.
Sacrifice
really a
Attack
card and a
Creature is
half.
card.
Yeah, Sacrifice and Attack Creature is a card. So that's
4 life is not a card and a half. Get out of here.
Well, most of the cards deal 3 damage.
It's worth a burn spell and a half. Not a card and a half. Come on.
It's worth 3 mountains.
3 mountains. I don't know about that. And
all right, here's the Path to Exile.
Path to Path. You can't do anything about that, but you can get a shiny new mountain. Not going to fail to find this time.
Nope, he's going to be successful at that find.
So proud of Zach. Wish him all the success in the world in finding that mountain.
Absolutely. He's really achieved in the biggest way possible here.
He has. He has indeed.
He went and got basic.
Yeah, getting a basic's a solid play.
Patrick, being the upstanding citizen he is, probably made sure that Zach was confirming to either get the land or not get the land.
Oh, I would absolutely assume so.
That's part of the rules of Magic the Gathering now.
It is.
If your card offers a choice, you have to get that choice from your opponent.
Oh, and a Cryptic Command on top. Now, I got a question for you about Cryptic Command.
Yes.
How do?
How do?
How do?
I would probably... Ooh, this is loose here. Being at such a healthy life total of 13, and having negate in hand, I would have saved the Blessed Alliance until I could max value it.
Absolutely.
And then use the negate here to just counter whatever burn spell Zach might have.
That seems very reasonable. Zach here making the tough decision to pop this fetch land to start firing off these lightning helixes. Whereas he could have sandbagged it because he does have 2 Searing Blades in hand, which, as we said before, is a bit of a liability for him.
Helices? Is it helixes?
Are you serious right now?
See,
Patrick goes down to 10, Zach up to 17. Just untaps, passes the turn.
See, now Patrick he's got open cryptic mana, I guess, so he can counter draw.
But there's no reason for Zach to run stuff out on his turn.
Right.
Looks like Patrick's going to be comfortable just drawing or gaining 4 life.
It looks like he just has Blessed Alliance here, so he's daring Zach to have Skullcrack. He's already burnt 1.
This, my friends, is a Blessed Alliance.
This is a card from Dark Ascension.
No, absolutely not. Try again.
It's Shadows over Innistrad,
Mm-hmm.
and then Dark Ascension, right?
Nope.
What's the setting?
It certainly is not. Eldritch Moon.
Eldritch Moon. Why didn't I think of that?
Why didn't you think of that?
Listen, man. This is a card from Eldritch Moon. It was a powerhouse uncommon. I was playing a affinity deck against a zoo deck right after Eldritch Moon came out, and this guy Blessed Alliance to me to like
Oblivion.
I mean, so I was attacking conservatively to block, and he got my Edge Champion with a Blessed Alliance. I was livid. I was like, this card is so bad, whatever, yada yada. I mean, you can imagine the things I said.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine.
Because you were there.
Yes.
And here we are, many Eldritch Moons later. It's a main deckable.
It's
a very excellent sideboard card.
It's a good sideboard card for sure.
Here's Gideon Jura in the hand of Patrick Narsavage.
Zach is just building up a hand here.
Oh yeah, he's gonna unload. Patrick better not flinch here, or
yeah. Zach is just waiting. I think Patrick knows to be a bit cautious here.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows how cautious he needs to be because Zach's hand is quickly becoming very real. He's going to need a target.
Oh yeah, here it is. Welcome, Patrick. Welcome to hell.
Yeah, he's going to take a substantial amount of damage here.
So I think Zach has.
So we get to Lightning Helix Boros Charm.
Right.
So that right there is 7. And then he can untap and double Lava Spike. And then as soon as Patrick flinches again, we have multiple Searing Blazes to finish off. Because he'll just be at 1.
Lightning Helix. Yeah, and Zach is not going to be...
Dispel on the charm.
Here's not that spell, this spell.
Exactly. Draws another Boros charm. Man, so that's 10 damage is going to put Patrick right back down to 1.
It's intense. He's just got to cast it all. Like, there's just no...
Yeah, I mean, shields are down.
Yeah,
Time is now.
You just get to... I'm wondering if you're Zach, if you wait at all.
No, not on these. So this is going to put Patrick down to 1. And he has to kill you at some point. And to do that, he's going to need creatures. So putting him
Here's
at
a
1...
personal pet peeve. I pick up my... I put it back down when I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
If my burn opponent's going to continue to burn me, just show me everything that you've decided this turn.
No, you want to resolve your spells one at a time.
Okay, I get. I mean, I'm tapped out. I don't have anything else.
Sure. You could. You could have any number of shoals.
Oh, I guess you could have the white shoal would be...
Or the blue shoal.
A heater.
Just so many shoals. Call him Dr. Shoals.
I got shoals, but I'm not a soldier.
Alright, let's see what Zach can pull out here. If he draws any burn spell, it really puts Patrick in the passenger seat.
You're right. I play it fast and loose. I'm too fast and loose.
Yeah, you need to take it slow. Here's Shining Shoal.
Shining Shoal?
From shoal to Shining Shoal. Blessed Alliancing main phase to gain 4. Land is good here.
Alright.
So this turns on the second part of Searing Blaze. Negate one of them's fine. It's going to put Patrick down to 2, and he's dead to any burn spell, but Zach with no cards in hand. This is
to be even-handed, the top of Zach's deck is...
That's not good.
Yeah. So
that'll do it. Burn falls to the blue-white control deck.
Interestingly enough, while I agree with your assessment on spreading seas, it was actually good there.
Was it good there?
It was, because Zach had to sacrifice a fetch land in his sequence of like large plays, in order to have enough colored mana. Also, it forced him to Skullcrack on turn 2 instead of like Boros Charming or Lightning Helixing on turn 2, which opened that card up. You know, you much rather have that card in wait for one of the life gain spells.
Absolutely.
So it might have been bigger there than we realized.
Well, so part of the reason it was so big is because Zach's hand had 2 Searing Blazes, which, as I mentioned before, would be my first cut in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what he has in his sideboard, but
I mean, literally, I would put Grizzly Bear in over Searing Blaze.
I don't think he's sideboarding any Grizzly Bears, so...
He's got Core Firewalkers, so...
Oh, you would literally play that card?
I would literally play a Grizzly Bear.
Alright. A white for 2 Grizzly Bear?
Look, man. Deals damage. Way more damage than the Searing Blaze is ever going to do in this matchup.
Yeah. Alright. We got some time. Go hand out some candy, gently.
No. Be vicious about it.
And we'll see you here in about 20 minutes.
See you in about 20 minutes.